Am I on with anybody or am I good to go? Okay. Well, number one, thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for holding up a great college football game. Just really hard fought, big plays all over the place. Some really gutsy performances because a lot of guys were getting banged up and going down, finding ways back in. Some guys never came back and guys stepped up in their place and found a way to get it done. And so just all in all, just a great team victory against a really good football team. They're really talented. Go on the road and get this thing done, get us to 6-1. Just a great, can't tell you how proud I am of those guys in there.
We'll go to questions. We'll go to Dennis Dodd, CBS Sports.
Mario, congratulations. I wonder if you could speak to how it seemingly has never been easy for you guys this season. Joe goes down, a bunch of players get injured. Even today, you had to hold on to the last minute. I just wonder if you could speak to that.
Well, it wasn't a lot of fun in pregame when we were getting ready, and then Alex Forsythe goes down. You know, in pregame we thought we'd have him for today, but I mean it's been the theme of the year. Hopefully, we're putting a stop to that after this game. And some guys did come back. It's just this team, its leaders, its players. They're a special bunch. They're just resilient. They just keep coming, and they truly believe that there's no play, no circumstance, no bad call, no injury that we can't overcome.
Thanks.
Next question, Jim. Oh, go ahead, Des. I'm sorry. Get a follow up.
And I just asked this because this has now happened twice this season. The fact that your starting quarterback gets booed at home, forget he keeps continuing to win. Just a reaction to that in college football.
Well, to me, it's watch the tape. Watch all the big plays that he made. Watch all the right plays he put us in. Watch how much our offense was effective as he was out there just putting it all on the line all the time and having the support and the complete belief of the entire locker room. Okay, so like always, look, this industry comes with its ups and downs, highs and lows, its chatter and its noise. And quite honestly, the only chatter we're interested is what we do every single day together as a unit. We want to make our community proud, our university proud, and everything else. When it comes down to it, brother, we're up there at 5 a.m, getting it done day in and day out till midnight or whatever it takes. So really proud of these guys and really proud of our quarterback.
James Crepia, Oregonian.
Mario, I heard you on post-game radio say that Travis was questionable today. With that in mind, can you speak to not just his day and scoring the 4 touchdowns and how critical they were, but early on as somebody who was questionable entering the game, saying on one of those early drives to run the bleeping ball to you guys and to have that, not just determination in general, but as somebody who was clearly battling something?
Well, what he had pregame was a migraine, and he's had that. Whoever has had that before, that thing could knock you out for a little bit. So when the trainer taps you on the shoulder and says Travis has a migraine, I was waiting for the punchline to see what else went with that. So, but he took his time and he felt a heck of a lot better, and was able to come ready to go and went out there for the rest of warmups and did a great job. Those guys, they rallied around each other. They continued to support, show belief and trust in each other. And that's the result of the game.
Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
Coach, the 3 straight games where your defense has had to make some plays late, either to win or to lose the football game. They do it again. And I just wanted to ask you about DJ and the plays he made today, I think specifically in the first and the fourth quarter.
Our defense just keeps finding a way. And we offensively, we put them in a tough situation, right? Couple back-to-back, situations where, we got to execute better. People want to say, well, it was a throw. Well, there's a lot of things that go into a pass play. Guys got to run the right routes. There's got to be communication. So it's not that. It's not a quarterback issue. But the defense, they just, no matter what, it was the second quarter, it was the third quarter, and they were telling each other, this is a fourth quarter rep. We're a good fourth quarter team, and we're going to treat everything like the fourth quarter. So DJ stepped up. Certainly the guys up front put constant pressure on their quarterback, got to him, whether we got to him and got him on the ground or affected him, certainly just made a tremendous impact. And then finally, when they had to bring in their second quarterback and he was forced into a tough situation, DJ stepped up, read it perfectly, broke on the ball, big play, game over.
Max Torres, Ducks Digest.
Coach, congrats on the win, in such a big game that goes a long way potentially in determining the Pac-12 picture. What did it mean to you to be able to celebrate with those fans that traveled out here to support you guys after the game?
Man, you know what? I would like for all attention and all narrative to be around our players, because there's a lot of noise that surrounded this game that had a lot to do with everything except our players. And these are the guys that went out there and just laid it on the line again and again and again, with guys down, guys hurt, guys banged up, and found a way to get it done on the road. Okay. After going through a lot. So to me, it's all about them. Really grateful about our fans showing up and that the way they showed the support. And we fully expect that kind of support when we're in Autzen Stadium next Saturday. Like a ton of noise, a great positive juice that we're known for at Autzen Stadium to get that game going the right way.
We'll go to Heather Dinich.
Hey, Mario, fair or not, there's a lot of attention around the college football playoff. And as the only one-loss team left in the Pac-12, all eyes are on you guys every time you're on the field. So how do you handle that pressure, and what do you tell the team about that every week?
Honestly, I think we're over that stuff, Heather. I'm completely being 100% transparent and honest. Our guys really have a good grasp on understanding that it's about today. It's about the next item on the agenda. It's about the play that they're playing. And we realize that works for us. When we get away from that process, we create our own issues. Okay. And that's a big moment when, as a team, you could recognize that. Now, we always have to remind ourselves, right? The moment we hop on the plane, I mean, I walked by 400 people on the way over here, and all 400 people had this thing like jammed in their face, right? Because that's the world we live in. So, and that's okay. That's part of it. This ain't my phone, right? This is yours. Sorry about that, guys. So I guess what I'm saying is we're very real. There's noise. There's always and that's okay. That's what makes college football awesome. The enthusiasm, the pageantry. But for the Ducks, it's back to work. Heal up, watch this film, get better, support each other, lift each other up, and let's get ready for our next 1-0.
We'll go to Sean McPherson, KWVA.
Coach, Anthony Brown had a season high in passing yards today. You also had 3 pass catchers who had 45 or more yards. I was wondering if you could just evaluate the passing attack against the Bruins today.
Oh, it set the tone. And then, especially in the middle 8 and in the third quarter, where things really changed. We swung the momentum of the game. We were able to hang on to it at the end. Great job by the defense. Defense, in fact, in the third quarter, I believe, allowed only 7 yards, 11 yards. I could be off on that stat there by a little bit, but it wasn't by much. They run the ball really well. We controlled the line of scrimmage. Anthony just did a great job dissecting their coverages. The O-line held up. We mixed and matched some guys, and he just made some unbelievable throws. Guys made some big catches. We put one on the ground we'd like to have back, but aside from that, there's a lot of positive progress in the passing game, and we know, because we see it in practice every day, how dangerous we could be in the passing game. So this is a great step in that direction, and we expect to take another step this week in practice.
Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
Yeah, Mario, you just kind of touched on it there for a second, but in that second and third quarter, Anthony was really good throwing the ball, and I think he threw for 16 first downs in this game. 9 of those went for 16 or less yards. Is this kind of what you envisioned this offense to be when you were building it, and how do you sustain that?
Well, number one is we want to make sure our best players have a chance to make plays. Number two is what they play. Now, they're a very complex defense now. You saw they play trap coverage. They play a ton of zero. They'll play some post safety cloud. I mean, every single snap, it's something different. And you got to get them to tell you what they're doing with your shifts, with your motions, with your alignments and whatnot. And that's where I think our quarterback today really excelled and took advantage. When I say advantage, it's not only taking advantage, it's making plays that you need to make against tough looks and tough situations. And we were very close on some other ones, real close. So I think we're just scratching the surface on the passing game. Hopefully he'll get healed up front so we continue progressing both, in the run and in the passing game, and take another step as an offense.
We go to James.
You mentioned the run defense and keeping them relatively contained, Mario. They were obviously one of the best running offenses in this league. You limit their 2-star running backs in a big way. I mean, Charbonnet, 15 for 35, 2.4 yards per carry. I'm assuming that was one of the big keys of the game for you. Can you speak to just how maybe even far that may have exceeded your own expectations of being able to contain them on the ground?
Well, I really don't think that there's sky's the limit for these guys and this team and this defense. Those guys just rose to the occasion. They knew they were going to have to strike blockers, get off blocks, and make plays. And our guys did it again and again and again. You mentioned, I didn't realize those were the numbers. That's outstanding. That's off the charts. And just shows you the capabilities of our team when our team is on point. So just super proud of that type of performance. That's awesome.
We'll go back to Max Torres.
Coach, I know consistency is something you guys have been working on this season. I believe you were 7 for 9 on third down. What did you see out there that allowed you guys to really put together those good drives?
Well, I mean, just intensive film study. You know, they do what they do and they're very good at it. They're chaotic. They bring pressure from all over the place. Looks like Star Wars. You know, it's just like stuff everywhere. And you got to block it and you got to beat it. And credit to the quarterback, credit to the offensive line, credit to the running backs, just everybody stepping up. You know, Anthony just did a great job dissecting them. The offensive line did a really good job not falling for their stems. Now we got called for, you know, when they move our defensive stem, but our offensive line did a really good job of hanging in there and not moving with all their stems and whatnot, and handled their twist game really, really well and kept our quarterback clean for most of the night. And when there was a free hitter, Anthony did a great job getting rid of that thing when he had to, and the running backs did a good job in protection as well.
We'll go back to Eric Scopel.
Coach, you just touched on protection on Anthony. I wanted to ask about this offensive line because by the end there, I'm guessing that rotation probably hasn't played a lot in those spots this season. You had injuries to Alex and Jackson and Steven, and just kind of how do you think that group fared and kind of assessing their play in the second half especially?
No, those guys stepped up big time. Yeah, those guys went down. Alex went, you know, we really thought Alex was good to go today. And at the last second, he wasn't. He had practice all week and was very good. And then, you know, Steven and whatnot, but all those guys, they've been getting so many reps. You guys always ask throughout the weeks, why do these guys get multiple reps at different positions? Well, situations like this now, you validate that. So really proud of those guys.
We got time for one or two more. We'll go with James Crepia.
Can you speak to KT, Mario, and just the scale of an impact that he had in his first full game at this level of health? And you talk about, you mentioned the postseason awards and those things that he could be up for. When he missed so much time, plenty of people could, I wouldn't say write him off because of the kind of impact he could have, but write him off because he missed so much time. But if he plays like this the rest of the way, I don't know how he could be written off. So speak to just the scale of impact he was able to have in a full game.
Yeah, he was okay. He was solid. He's sitting right here. That's why I wanted to say that. No, he changed the game. He changed the game. And I think what's evident is he has worked himself. He hasn't inherited. He has worked himself into being, in my opinion, the most impactful player, defensive player in college football. And like you said, it's his first full game. So, you know, he's going to need a few ice bags and he's going to need some rest, a lot of water and Gatorade. And we're going to need him to keep doing that because he certainly changes the game.
And last question for Coach. We will go to Jared Denny.
Hey, Mario. I was actually going to ask about Kayvon as well, but you sort of answered my question. It seems like he obviously looked a little gassed at the end of the game, but does it seem like after having that sprained ankle and kind of dealing with that stuff, he's getting closer to all the way back, or where you guys would hope that he is?
Yeah, well, they had, I was trying to find how many total offensive plays they had. I bet it was a neighborhood of 70 or whatnot, 80. And he played most of those snaps. So 91 total snaps. And you figure you played what, how many? About 70, 65. Just emptied the tank completely. I'm sorry, I forget what the question was. But look, when you witness an effort like that from a player, not only does it demand like ultimate respect, but a tremendous wow factor. I don't know of any defensive player in the country at the line of scrimmage, any edge player that, you know, could match something like that. So whatever honors he's up for, he deserves, but I think that he's not motivated by that. I think he's a hungry, driven guy that just wants to keep getting better and keep getting to 1-0 each week. So certainly glad to have him back. I know the whole team is, and I know everybody back home is as well.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
All right, guys. Appreciate you.